I've already been the undisputed champion. I've won every single belt there is to win. I've got nothing more to do. I am out. Fully retired. Done. It's never going to happen because I'm retired. But let's just say I'd punch him round the ring because he's a middleweight, blown up. Big shout out to Bob Owen and the boys. They're on a 160-mile bike ride over the weekend, raising money for charity. Big respect, boys. Sam, Bob, I don't know the other guy's name. Good luck, guys. All the best.
What's good, family? Shout out to my doggy Clates for boosting up your man the YB coin. So we just heard there from your mans, Tyson. Fury breaking his silence and speaking out once again on this whole retirement / Usyk shtick. Now, the first thing Fury mentions is that he don't need to fight for undisputed because he's retired, but most importantly, he's already the 4-belt, he's already been the 4-belt world champion because he won all the belts. Let me say this now, people know. I think Tyson Fury can potentially knock out everyone who's around there today, bottom line. However, this is he capping right now, 100%. You won belts, but not at the same time. It's completely different in my opinion. Yeah, beating Vlad way back when and then coming back 3 years later to beat Wilder, not the same thing. Yeah, in my opinion. I think most people who are rational will agree. And like I said before, bottom line is, yeah, everyone, even Tyson Fury's family, should be not pressuring him. Oh, call it what you want, pressure if you want, you know what I'm saying? Pressure him. And to be honest, everyone really thinks that everyone thinks he's joking anyway. No one really believes he's going to retire. There's a few fanboys who, oh yeah, it's a great idea for you to retire. Let me tell you now, there's nothing great about Fury retiring now for no one. It's not great for him. It's not great for the fans. It's not great for no one. It's not great for the legacy of the sport. Because if you have the potential to do something truly great, why would you not do it? I don't get that. It's weird. Especially when, for a long time, even to this day, Fury claims he's the greatest, so why not prove it? Because it has to be said, people have been saying, oh, he's the best ever. Listen, he may well be the best ever, but you have to prove that. You don't prove that in beating the bum Dillian Whyte, because Dillian Whyte is a bum. We all knew that. Yeah? But, okay, you beat Dillian Whyte, who's a bum. Wilder's good. That's fair play. Wilder, Vlad, and Dillian Whyte. Them names don't hold up in terms of big, thick resumes, in my opinion. Because Dillian Whyte ain't even the names. You can get rid of that one. Vlad and Wilder. Those are the world-class names Fury's beat. 2 names. You can't only beat 2 names. And to be honest, even the Vlad fight was the old style. So that wasn't. It's not like he knocked Vlad out. Yeah, you went, really, it was a 50-50 fight with Vlad, because in my mind, any fight that goes to points, I'm going to call 50-50. Wilder, you schooled him. So, really, proper wins, you've got 1 proper win, knocking Wilder out. And yeah, we can count the Dillian Whyte fight, but Dillian Whyte's useless, we know that. So why not knock out Johnston, who's also useless, knock out Usyk, who everyone sucks off. I don't rate Usyk, but Fury, on that basis, there's no reason Fury can't knock him out. Simple as that. Stick it on him. He's too small, like you said there. He's too small, and get all the belts. And then, you can really do what you want from that point. Because who else is there? Joe Joyce? He's too slow. Fury would knock Joe Joyce out, or butcher him if he wanted to. I don't think there's no... Yeah, I would, obviously, as a fan, I'd rather Fury hang around for Joe Joyce, but really, it don't need to be, like I said, it's ideal, I'd rather it happen, but no one going to be missed thinking, oh, Fury's retired and not fought Joe. That's not going to happen, I don't believe. He's too slow. It's too slow. Joe's good, but he's just too slow. And the thing is, as slow as Joe is, yeah, Dillian Whyte never looked that slow. But against Fury, he was that slow. Do you understand? Don't forget, people, when Dillian Whyte was in there with AJ, he looked at home. Do you understand? No one watched the AJ vs Dillian Whyte fight and thought, he is so slow and so useless. In fact, most people said, wow, he's the best, Dillian Whyte, top 3 fighter. That's what the narrative was. Yeah, AJ makes people look like they're A1. AJ makes people look like they're gods. Because look at Usyk. Chisora made Usyk look average. AJ made Usyk look like a world beater. That's what AJ does. AJ takes his opponents and makes them look red hot. Same as Andy Ruiz. AJ went in there with Andy Ruiz, made him look like Mike Tyson. Chris Arreola, 40-year-old, goes in there and plays ping pong with Andy Ruiz, drops him. And Andy Ruiz couldn't drop Chris Arreola, oops, who's been knocked out by Wilder, oops, yeah? So that just shows you all you need to know about AJ. But anyway, I got onto that conversation. Oh yeah, Dillian Whyte. The point is, look how slow Tyson, no one else, Dillian Whyte's fought a whole bunch of people. No one has made him look slow before. In fact, Dillian Whyte looked quick against Povetkin, real quick. Dillian Whyte made Povetkin look slow. So, I'll tell you that to say, if Joe Joyce looks slow against people like Daniel Dubois, who's also relatively slow, what do you think's going to happen when he's in there with Fury? He's going to look stupid slow. Do you understand? Because Joe Joyce already looks slow against bums. Joe Joyce in there with people who are no good looking slow. So, when you're in there with Fury, who makes people who aren't ordinarily slow, like Dillian Whyte, look slow, there's no contest. But anyway, I've digressed there. Now we've fleshed it out. Bottom line is, Fury, you ain't undisputed. As much as I would like to do the mental maths, you're not, and there's no reason you can't be. So stop gassing the place up and stop trying to string the fans along. I get it. If you want the fans to beg, please stay. Oh, we'll beg, please stay. But what we ain't gonna do is, or some man fans will, Fury man fans will say, oh no, because I've heard it already. There's already Fury man fans saying things like, oh no, yeah, he is undisputed, yeah. No, he's not, and no one should be gassing him, encouraging him to go down that path of saying, oh, I would be anyway. Because why not just do it? Just do it. It's as simple as that. Yeah, just do it. These guys ain't good enough not to just do it with. Because really, looking back at history, yeah, Lennox went out, some people might say strategically, thinking, wow, I've got the Vitali. Vitali's hot on my heels. And to be fair to Lennox, he was 38 as well. Fury ain't 38. Fury is really in the middle of his prime. Possibly. We don't know. Maybe there's evidence that shows he's getting better. But he's definitely not at the back end of his career like Lennox was. So I get Lennox. Lennox had one of his toughest fights against Vitali. And thought, you know what? Lennox probably felt like, I'm not getting any better, which is a fair thing. You can't watch. No one watches Lennox versus Vitali and thinks Lennox is getting better than ever. So I get that. Lennox is 38. He probably felt like he was on the slide a bit, had his hardest fight and thought, I'm going to quit whilst I'm ahead. I get that. Fury, not 38, getting better, doesn't have... You can't sit there, no one can sit there and tell me, they look at the heavyweight landscape and tell me that Tyson Fury's got a young Vitaly Klitschko on his heels, where it makes sense for him to slide out. No. If anything, there's all in the division is food right now, and lots of food. Look at that. I mean, if AJ beats Usyk, that is the massive plate of food. Free food. Yeah, it's free food for Fury to collect. And I do believe he's going to come back. But still, I'm just making it clear. Let's not get no delusions here. Oh, because some fans are so gassed. They're so, what's the word? They're so kind of in love. They'd rather, oh no, I've heard people say things like, oh, it's good for him to retire whilst he's on top. People are so deep into their man fan love, they'd rather him retire so that their view of him don't get, they'd rather him retire now and not take any more risk, because it means they can then harp on about he the best ever. Well, no, that's not being the best ever, it's taking risk. And the worst thing is, like I said before, it's not even really risky. It's not. I don't see Fury versus AJ or Fury versus Usyk as risky. Yeah, heavyweight boxing has a standard level of risk, but I mean, think about historically. Yeah, think of all the undisputed champions. Fury has the opportunity to do it in the most moneyed era. It's never been easier to make money in boxing. It's never been easier to make big money in boxing. You owe it to yourself to cash in the free chips. It's free $20, $30 million paydays. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine Fury just got paid 30, 40 million to beat that guy at the weekend? Do you understand what I'm saying here? Mike Tyson and Lennox Lewis had to fight to make 40 mil. Do you know what I mean? Tyson Fury just made that, and he fought in a complete bum called Dillian Whyte. So it don't make no sense. You've only got 3 or 4 years left anyway. You might as well cash in. Your fame is going from strength to strength, as it will do when you get knockouts and you're entertaining. It don't make no sense. I don't know who's advising him. I guess he does his own thing, but still. Like I said, no one believes it, but I'm just making it clear for everyone. Now, the next part Fury says is that, listen. So he says that, I'm not going to become undisputed, but I've already been undisputed. That's a lie. You haven't been undisputed. Yeah, we can do all the mental maths and say you've won the belts here, won the belts there. That's not undisputed. Second thing, which is something I've been saying for the longest time. In fact, I may even started this saying. I'm the one who started calling Usyk a middleweight. Oops. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe Fury did, but I know for a fact I was the one, because middleweight doesn't even make sense. Really, he's a cruiserweight. So I'm pretty sure I was the one who put the hyperbole on there. Yeah, I called him middleweight, because the reason I call him middleweight is because Sean Porter at middleweight in the amateurs schooled Usyk and knocked him down. Yeah, that's why I call him middleweight. Sean Porter's food. Sean Porter with weights in his shorts gave Usyk the work in the amateurs. Oops. Yeah, that's what I mean. And Tyson Fury ain't lying again, but this is the thing, you see. A lot of these interviewers are fangirls. A good interviewer would have said to Fury, I agree with you. I think Usyk is a blown up middleweight. In fact, I told you that myself. Oops, yeah. But if he's a blown up middleweight, why retire? Because in one breath you say you're retiring because you don't want to risk and you've got kids to raise and whatever. Well, it's a contradiction. Retire because you're worried about not being able to look after your kids, or you're worried about being damaged and you want to quit ahead, would make sense if you were saying, listen, Usyk's a real killer and I need to retire now before I get my head bashed in. But you can't say Usyk is middleweight food and then in the next breath say, I'm retiring because I don't want to get hurt. And so you're basically lying then. You're saying, because the two things don't make sense. If someone says to me, YB, or if someone says to me, YB, you can fight Usyk for $50 million, yeah, and I turn around and tell you that, yeah, his food and his easy, his middleweight, but then say, actually, now I'm going to retire because I want to quit whilst I'm ahead. That don't make no sense. Not even a bit of sense does it make. It makes it, well, the only way to look at it is as if you think he's better than that. Because if you really thought someone was food, you'd take the $350 million. If you really thought someone was a middleweight, I mean, look at Dillian White. He was useless. Yeah? And you collected that payday, and rightfully so. But you have to be consistent here. If someone's useless, if someone's a middleweight, you must collect. You can't say, yeah, he's a middleweight, but I don't want to fight him because I need to make sure my health stays well. Are you concerned about your health or not? Do these fighters out there today make you concerned about your health? If they do, it makes sense why you're retiring. If they don't, collect the free coins. And I don't believe they do. And the worst thing is, yeah, historically speaking, like I said, look at Lennox. Lennox took a lot of damage in his last fight. How much damage Fury take? Really, and to be honest, the most damage Fury ever took was because of Ben Davidson. In the first Wilder fight, in some of the Wallin fights and whatever else. Those were where he took damage. Yeah, I guess you can say, actually, to be fair, that last Wilder fight as well. But then again, that last Wilder fight, Fury only had 3 or 4 weeks training because of the whole daughter situation. We just saw Fury come in there with 2-3 camps behind him now into the Dillian White fight, and he just made Dillian White look silly. That's what sharpness does. So you can, yeah, I'm not going to make excuses, but you can justify why Fury wasn't as sharp as in the second fight. In the second fight, Fury much sharper. Yeah, to be fair to Wilder as well, he did come through a lot harder as well. He was trying a lot more, but I still think Fury was half a step short in that third fight. And it makes, I mean, no one's a Superman, meaning that if you've just been dealing with if you've been dealing with baby problems 5 weeks ago, and then you're going into a massive fight. John Fury even said he didn't really want it and to postpone it. Fury didn't want to postpone it again because it had already been postponed in the July because of some fake news COVID thing, and he got a lot of backlash for pulling out the first time and didn't want to pull out again. But John Fury didn't want to do it then either. So that shows there's evidence there. So we can justify all them ones. And even then, Wilder is clearly a class above in terms of damage. Look at Usyk. When is Usyk even in his own weight division? middleweight. When has he ever caused damage to someone? Never. And that's the point here. He don't damage no one, apart from Johnston, who, like I said before, Anthony Johnston makes everyone look good. He made Dillian White look red hot. He made Klitschko look red hot. He made Andy Ruiz look red hot. Who else did he make look red? Everyone he go in there with. He made Usyk look red hot. Everyone he goes in there with, they look like world beaters. And then they go in there with someone average and look average. We've seen it time and time again. So, apart from Usyk, and even then, Usyk didn't stop AJ. And AJ weren't doing nothing either. He wasn't trying to be a heavyweight. So, you ain't going to take no damage in the Usyk fight. So, Tyson Fury, if Tyson Fury is worried about taking damage, he should not spar and just do the fight. As in, not spar, but people don't realise, fighters take more damage in training. They leave most of their brain in the gym. Because naturally, if you're sparring once a week, or God forbid, multiple times per week in a 10-week camp, that's where you're going to get most of the damage. It's not done on fight night. That's where you accumulate damage, and it's a smart training thing. As you get older, and you've got the IQ, yes, you want to stay sharp. Yes, you need to, but you don't need to be doing big, massive headshots. It don't make no sense. Focus on training with opponents. Be smarter in your training. All right. Tell your sparring partners. End of the day, yeah, you're bringing them in to help you. You tell them, listen, don't go hard to the head. Fast, light to the head, and heavy to the body. Fast. You can work on speed. Like make sure your reactions are sharp. Tell them, short and sharp to the head. Short and or speedy and just not too. You ain't digging to the bonds, yeah. No digging to the bonds. Dig to the body. Simple as that. Yeah. Make sure your reactions are sharp. That's all you need to be doing. You don't need to be overcooking it in training. Bottom line is, Usyk needs to be get got 100%. Who? The winner of AJ and Usyk must get got. And I don't even believe Fury. I don't believe that he ain't stupid. He knows there's free food on the table. But the reason I'm saying this is to say that if he does go away and don't come back, it will be a travesty. And it will be a massive bummy thing to do, I'm telling you now. If Tyson Fury genuinely retires now, it's a massive bum statement. It makes a mockery, in my opinion, it makes a mockery of the sport as well. Because I will have never have seen something so wasteful before. Yeah, you got the opportunity to do something truly great, and you want to play these weird, I'm going to retire. And I guarantee you as well, if he did retire, he'll probably end up coming back anyway in 3 years' time, and it's all dead. It's all, you know what I'm saying? Don't make no sense. So, Fury love training right now. He in the groove. Don't make no sense. Hang around and fill Usyk in twice. In fact, yeah, really, for undisputed, there should be a rematch. So the winner of AJ and Fury should have 2 fights. Really, I think that makes sense. And trust me, the coin will make even more sense, no doubt about it. But everyone should be not pressuring. He gonna do what he want to do anyway. But I'm just saying, yeah. At no level, I don't want to hear all these Fury fanboys telling me, oh no, YB, it makes sense, yeah, he should retire, and yeah, no, it don't make no sense. That's the God's honest truth. If it did, I'd tell you it did. It don't make no sense whatsoever, 100%.